Reality is we are our mind, we are body, we are spirit. In order to understand how your physical body can change, what the potential of your physical body is, you have to nurture the elements of your body. Taking personal responsibility for what your body is and what it's capable of, when you nurture that with the free things.
Let's dive into the Ayurvedic side of things, because this is one thing I've heard you talk about that I haven't heard, frankly, other nutritionists talk about. And it, to me, is so interesting. It springboards into more of the spiritual and emotional as well that I want to talk through. But let's start with, what is Ayurvedic medicine? Why is an ancient medicine so important, and why do you incorporate it into how you think about treating, clients and helping people in 2025?
So I've always called myself a mind, body, and spirit nutritionist. Which is the holistic approach. I think sometimes people think of holistic and they think of medicine that works for the whole body, but the reality is we are our mind, we are our body, we are our spirit. So take that side of things. So I've always been using, different aspects to my practice to evolve the human body, the human experience, so to speak. The nutrition clinical side of things is people come to me because they want their body to change, their physical body to change. In order to change the physical body, we have to understand the physical body, right? Most of us did not do well in biology. And honestly, they don't teach a whole lot of human biology. It's more about animals and plants, which is so beyond me. But even physics, like nobody even realizes that the human body is physics. Like it's, again, beyond me. Why are we learning about light bulbs and electricity when our own human bodies have so much physics? So Ayurvedic kind of brings the nature of the whole thing I teach, right? But it's also the clinical, like the different body types. That's why I adopted Ayurvedic into my practice. And I don't focus on it as a whole, like that's not my whole practice at all. But in order to understand how your physical body can change, what the potential of your physical body is, you have to nurture the elements of your body. And so when you talk about like what's trendy, what's not, well, a cold plunge is the one that went viral, so to speak, on a podcast interview, because I told the host that she shouldn't cold plunge because she's a Vata body type. And she was like, I knew it. So for Vata body types, the cold plunge would be a trend that they would want to stay away from. And the Vata body types are the very thin. Their body types their elements are air and ether. And so they're light and they tend to run cold. They tend to have thyroid issues. They tend to have, anxiety and nervous system dysregulation because of the elements of their body. And so why would you stress a body with this extreme cold that's already stressed?
Yeah. So true.
So that's a trend but a pitta and a kapha can cold plunge every day. The pitta is fire and water. And so they're dense. They need to chill out. I'm a pitta.
Yeah.
Most business owners are pitta.
I'm probably one of those as well.
So the fire and water make for really good driven, executive type people.
Yeah.
And all body types can be that type of person too, because we're all tridosha, but we have a dominant. And so when we nurture the dominant, like you say, taking personal responsibility for what your body is and what it's capable of, when you nurture that with the free things, meaning like who should take warm and hot baths.
Yep.
And who should apply oil before the bath and who should apply it after.
Yeah.
So Vatas can maintain the moisture in their body because they also tend to be super dry by applying the oil before they bathe. So that's another very unknown thing. It would just be like a minor, cheap, inexpensive change. And then eating certain foods. So I keep saying Vata because I feel like the Vatas are the ones who people think they aspire to be.
Yeah.
This long, lean person, but they have no idea the struggles.
Yeah.
Like they don't get to eat raw fruit without digestive issues.
Yeah.
And us pittas, we can burn through that fruit. It's no big deal. We have zero issue with fiber. But pittas do need to eat more cooling foods, like seasonal fresh food and less like rich oils and just kind of like lighter to chill us out. And then the kapha, I always say the kapha is the most flexible. It's also like how a personality trait is like a golden retriever. They're like the loving ones, the ones that give of themselves and constantly give of themselves so much that they neglect themselves.
Yep.
And then it catches up really fast. It's a slow but fast like process for a kapha. But like, going back to nurturing and free things, pittas and vatas should not work out on an empty stomach in first thing in the morning, because we already have the oversensitivity on our nervous system. Like changing a workout time for pitta and a vata to 9 to 1, which I know is not, again, in our American culture, that's not like an acceptable time to break your work. And a kapha is super flexible. A kapha can work out in the morning and before bed. But even if I watch a game, if I'm not even playing the game, I have trouble falling asleep
Yeah.
because it like makes me
Wired.
so intense, wired.
So, a couple of things. I mean, one thing that I like about the Ayurvedic philosophy is personal responsibility. And I think this is an area that, it's not to add more pressure to anyone, but some pressure and some stress, frankly, is good, right? Not all the stress that we have. But when it comes to nutrition and wellness and everything that we're talking about, there is a reality and an honesty that we have to have with
Mhm.
people, that they have to take personal responsibility. And you can't just blindly take different things and follow a fad diet or whatever. Part of my goal with having, this forum and these podcasts and discussions and everything, as someone who owns a supplement business right now, is to say that you can't supplement your way out of taking
Mhm.
responsibility for your health and wellness. It just won't work. Like, it will not work. You will take the
Mhm.
products and you will not see a difference if you don't also act alongside of it. And so I don't know if you have a philosophy or feedback on personal responsibility and how you really encourage your community, who you're working with, your audience. But I would love to talk about that as well, and just kind of the encouragement there, but also the honesty.
Yeah. So every quarter, generally, we do like a self assessment, a quiz,
Mhm.
kind of to see where our body and our mind are at. And it helps bring awareness to the person. So, like, inflammation, for instance, because that's our current topic in my membership.
Yep.
We did an inflammation quiz because I think people think you can see inflammation. Well, for going back to the Ayurvedic body types, you can't see inflammation on every body type. You can only see it on two of the body types and sometimes only one of the body types. And so we have to be aware of other symptoms of inflammation.
Mhm.
And going back to the personal responsibility thing, I'm obviously going to ask people like what they eat, send your food log or whatever, but like, are you using meditation? Are you walking after your meals to regulate your blood? You have high blood sugar, your A1C is
Mhm.
creeping up. Like, are you walking after every single meal? So these tiny notions of personal responsibility are super helpful. I will say in my community, I have to actually talk people off the ledge. It's more like,
Mhm.
you're doing great. Give yourself some grace. You don't have to be like a lot of type A people
Mhm.
that are like perfect or nothing,
Yeah.
And so I do feel like a lot of the wellness community is like so driven, constantly thinking about optimizing to the point where it's like, give yourself some grace. Life happens.
Yeah.
The goal is consistency. Consistency pays interest. That's what I always say.
Mhm.
Um, the more we're consistent, the more that the days that we can't control won't affect us.